So some of the design highlights of our currency are the actual artwork. We have commissioned a local artist named Jill Walcroft, lives in Pahangana, who is incidentally also doing an academic case study of some aspects of the project. She has drawn the artwork on the notes using local buildings and landscape and native flora and fauna symbols. And so these provide a sort of a connection with the community, and very nice sort of hand-drawn but very pictorial representations. In the aspects of the security and the sort of the confidence in the currency, it's going to be backed by the New Zealand dollar and redeemable by member businesses for 90 cents on the dollar. We have protections against special interest capture of the currency scheme with the constitution of the Recap Society. And the note design itself includes a 2D barcode, which actually will contain an encrypted representation of a serial number and a secure key to help foil people who might be trying to counterfeit the notes. We'll be printing them in a ratio that obviously will favor some of the smaller notes. And the Recap administrator is going to work with the member businesses to make sure that they don't become points of accumulation of the currency, what we call currency sinks. And that means that we find ways for them to spend them back out into the community at large. And the idea is being that they can hand them out as change to people who are trading at the stores, or they may offer to pay people that are doing work for them, either employees or tradespeople, a portion of their fee in loaves. We're also going to have a web application, print and web directories of member businesses and just individuals who are trading in loaves. This will also include a wants directory, so if somebody is looking for something, they can say, I'm looking for 200 paving bricks, and somebody else may go out in their back shed and say, oh, I've got a stack of used paving bricks here, and they could put up a message on the web saying, look, we've got these bricks, we'd sell them to you, trade them for loaves. And then at the redemption end, if a member business finds that they're accumulating more of these than they can spend and they're piling up in their till, we will redeem them at 90% of face value. And if a member business is doing, say, 10% of their trade in loaves, and then they turn around and have to redeem them for 90 cents on the dollar, that means they've effectively only taken a 1% discount on their overall turnover. So it's not really too big of a hit for the participants.
So where are we at now? The foundation is in place, the society is in place, the currency is designed and in its final artwork being done, and we're hoping to get the printing done before the end of this year. We did have earlier optimistic targets for the release date, but the delay has been quite positive in that we're being able to expand and advertise it more, so that when we have public meetings, people are coming up and asking us questions about it, which wouldn't have happened if we'd come out too early. The pledges and the business interest are being followed up to close the trading loops. The 50 to 50 pledge means we want to have $50, people pledging to buy $50 of loaves, which is one set, basically, and also getting 50 businesses. So once we've got 50 businesses out there ready to accept them, we'll start moving them around and calling on the pledges to buy them. The longer-term goal, of course, is...
right. The longer-term goal is, of course, we would like to see more of these currency schemes springing up all around New Zealand, and through the web and through the use of various web technologies, hooking them together with a currency and currency-by-currency exchange. This is similar to what green dollars already do, where one green dollar scheme can usually trade at a one-to-one par value with another scheme. What we would like to see is that as communities start up their own currencies, that it's possible to trade across these boundaries can be quite porous. So you can trade across them using your own home currency but your neighboring region should be able to accept it just as if it were theirs. And this gives you, once again, not only the ability to trade for things you may not be able to produce or do in your own local area, but it also gives you one more layer of resilience in case something happens, a natural disaster, some sort of dislocation or disruption in one area. The surrounding areas can sort of help take up that slack, and it's part of how we all look after one another when something happens. Ways we're going to measure the change and the effectiveness of the scheme. Obviously, from the outset, we have control over the amount of currency issued. We can make sure that we don't flood our little economy with too much of this at once and thereby devalue it. We will have the ability when we scan that barcode, or when somebody takes they can just use a mobile phone and do this if they're worried about the validity of a note, and they can also do that if they just want to help us gather some data, and we can sort of take a snapshot or a sampling across time of how many notes are actually moving around, or what particular notes have transited which points. The redemption rates would give us another metric on how many are actually landing in what places. And then finally, the administrator who works with the member businesses will be able to just sort of keep their finger on the pulse and have an idea of just how they're doing, what sort of, without obviously getting into trade secrets, they could just ask them, so are you finding you're moving most of your loaves out by giving them as change to your customers, or are you paying tradespeople, or are you paying your employees? How are they leaving? And just different ways that we can track how the money is moving throughout the community. A more thorough assessment would make an excellent case study for anybody interested in a research project. Hint, hint.
And if you want any more information, we've got their website there, and along with an email address. So if you've got any further questions, don't hesitate to send them our way. We'll attempt to answer them as soon as we can. And just thanks to the people who've done the artwork, and the other graphic design is there, and the committees, and of course the City Council for providing the Local Initiatives grant to kick this off in the first place. Thank you.